everybody. This is On Screen, Off Screen, show where we like to talk about our media consumption throughout the week, how it impacts us, and how we are impacted by it. I guess is the way Lauren was saying it. I don't know. She does it better than me. But she's better than me in every single way. Lauren, with that being said, why don't you get us started with one of your topics?
Okay. So, Hildago, we're going on with my horse theme this week.
Yeah.
This is also my brother's favorite movie, or was when he was in high school. I just remember him watching this on loop. Um, so those who haven't seen Hildago, a brief summary is there's kind of like this uh, cowboy guy. He is part Indian, part cowboy, and he has his horse that it's kind of like the fastest in the West, and he like went with this circus group for a while. But then he finds out like the government's rounding up all these Mustangs and is trying to just eliminate them. So he decides to go to this Arabian horse race where like the payout is 100,000, but like people die in this race. It's really dangerous, and normally horses that aren't Arabic don't go in this race. So him going there, everybody is against him and is mad that he is joining. Um, and it has Viggo Mortensen, who plays Aragorn in
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, and like I feel like this character is kind of like an Aragorn character because he's very gentlemanly in the movie, and so like big props, really like Vigo in this movie, um, where he's always trying to look out for the other racers while he's out there because they're out in this desert and there's really no one that can help them. Um, and so he's out there trying to help people, even though they're trying to sabotage him because they don't want a Westerner to come and steal their thunder. Um, but yeah, this it was always really hard for me to watch this movie with my brother because there's like a lot of horses like get hurt and die in the movie, not in real life, but in the movie they get hurt and die. And like there's one where his horse like falls into a pit and gets like speared, and I'm like, oh, it's a tough scene for me, especially because like there's the whole understanding that a lot of times like when horses go lame, they'll just take their horses out because there's not much that they can do for their horse, and um, the living what's that like the quality of life goes down, so they usually just will take them out as like a mercy. um but actually like going back and rewatching this movie, it is kind of a cool. I think it's I'm surprised a lot of other people haven't seen it because it does have like a lot of action things. I think there's even like this one part where he like saves the girl from the bad people trying to like sell her off and stuff, and from like these bandit type group. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It's like kind of the hero saves the day movie. I need to ask my brother why he loved this movie so much because I don't think that it's good enough to be your absolute favorite rewatch over and over and over, but it was his. So I need to ask him why that is. But yeah, I I like this movie. Don't know if you guys have seen it, but
I've
I
seen it.
have seen it.
Colin, have you?
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't seen it since I was like 12.
I only saw it once and I really, really liked it. And it's a movie that I think about rewatching quite often and then I just don't. And I don't really know why, because I really enjoyed it the one time that I've watched it when I was also probably like 12.
yeah, yeah, that's what like I think that's like what this movie is. It's a really good watch. Like I said, I do not understand why my brother watched it over and over and over again. But yeah,
So what
so
would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.5
Okay.
I think
because
that's fair.
I like Vigo's character. I like his relationship with his horse, and I think the plot's pretty good, and I think that the cinematography's good. So
Okay, very
Nice.
nice. And why don't you go ahead into your next topic because it is shared with me and
do
we'll
I
get going.
have that written down? Oh,
I added it.
I was like, I don't have one. Okay, so I went and saw Superman in theaters yesterday, uh, and I've literally just been like listening to the soundtrack since I got out of the theater. um, Heavy spoilers to everybody because I love this movie so much. Um, it was very hopeful, but there is a very dark scene in this movie that surprised me. And like Lex Luthor, there is not one scene that I am not hating on Lex Luthor in this movie. And I love how they made him an just an evil son of a gun through and through. And there's this one part where he's doing Russian roulette to try to get information from Superman to this guy who just fed him a falafel one time. And this dude, like, as like he has the gun up to his head, the guy who has the gun up to his head is like, "Don't tell him anything, Superman. I don't have any friends or family to worry about. It was an honor to serve you my food." And like when and then Lex just freaking shoots him, and like it was so shocking to me when I saw that scene. And like it makes me want to cry. But um then you have like cuz like Conlon said, I think it was last week, like Superman gets his butt kicked over and over and over in this movie. But then finally once he like there's the scene where he catches the building before it crushes the car, and then he like flies up through like all of the crumbling stuff. I was like, that is a superhero. Like that is like somebody that you look up to. And like the music score, it was so good. And like it was funny because afterwards I turned to my friend Ellie who watched it with me, and I was like, I don't think there's ever been a movie that's made me want to have a family more than this movie.
That's really
um
cool.
because like his relationship with his parents, and like
It's
he
awesome.
has, yeah, the biological parents, that they have like that whole issue of he gets the second half of the transmission that was broken, and he had no clue about it, and he's like, oh my gosh, what does this mean about me? And he like goes back to like he was beaten, and they took him to go feel better like with his actual parents, and like they were there for him, and like his dad was like all mushy for him and stuff. And I was like, this this movie is like the best representation, I feel like, for men as well, to like feel safe about expressing themselves and like being able to be emotional about things and not make them feel like it's less manly. And like just seeing how like all the kids like kept going up to Superman during this movie and stuff, and then at the very end scene when he's like, would you like to see the video of your parents, it soothes him, and it was his like foster people. Oh my gosh, I started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so wholesome and so good, and everything Superman stands for, and like with David Superman. Anyway, I just really love this movie. So 10.
I love
Easy
this movie
10.
too. I was really, really good. And I love how realistic the parents felt. Like they just felt like a Midwestern mom and dad who were just trying to love their kid the best that they could. I loved the parents. Loved the parents.
And I love how it kept bringing like little things for like that I would like deal with, because they're like, why did you bring the dog? And he's like, I didn't want the dog killing my parents' cows and stuff. And like how he was looking after his cousin's dog the entire movie. Um, and like he had these little things that were like so human of him just being. I loved when he'd get upset and he's like, oh golly and stuff. And I'm like, yes, the wholesomeness. Um,
I like that too.
Yeah, it was such a feel good movie, and like I loved how he was always like optimistic, and like he got upset, and he like in all these things, but he was still trying to be good. And yeah, it was just so hopeful. I love this movie. It was so
And I
good.
I loved the what's his name? Jimmy? The Jimmy?
Jimmy,
And
yeah.
how he's just like a player stud, but he just doesn't want to be. But all these girls love him. It's like,
And they're like, how are you
Patrick,
bullying these
you're
women?
asking me so much. You cannot ask me to talk to this crazy psycho chick again. You can't do it. It's just,
Oh,
I really like this movie.
yeah.
All right, Josh. I am genuinely, I don't know where you're going to go with this movie. I don't know what you're going to think. I'm
You're
curious
smirking
what
like
you
you
think.
hate it.
Throw it out there. Give me a prediction. What do you think I'm gonna think about it?
I think you're going to have some nitpicks and things that bug you that are going to drop it significantly, and you're going to be more like a 6.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Well, I will start by saying I believe I am the voice of reason when it comes to this topic. Uh, this is the best Superman we have gotten. Uh, my big problem with Man of Steel was it was trying to be Batman. Batman's supposed to be the exception, not the rule. I've seen people talking about this movie saying, "Yay, no more dark and gritty DC or superhero stuff. We're moving on from that." And I'm on the side that's like, okay, but like, except Batman. Like Batman needs to be dark and gritty. So like, you need to have that. You
Dichotomy.
can't just have you can't just see the success of this and be like, okay, now we need a bright colored, purple suited Batman running around. No, we got that in the 90s. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. Um,
I agree.
I am harsh on this movie because I don't like Superman as a hero. I think he's incredibly stupid. Um, the trajectory of both Kryptonite and Superman to get to Earth is so astronomically small that it's insane. Um, I give it props because it's bold for them not to do an origin story for their like they're re-kicking the DC universe and they're doing it without doing an origin story. Bold choice. I believe it was a good choice that paid off. Um, Visually and the soundtrack of this is phenomenal. It looks great. The cinematography of him coming out of the building was absolutely great. Um, my problems with this movie are I'm going to start with Lois Lane. Um, she's a horrible person. Um, she's a nagging girlfriend who's basically like, you can't do anything right ever. Um, uh, Absolutely irritated me. It really bothered me that she was like, I was going to break up with him. And then he said, I love you. And I didn't feel like the right time. And then the next time they're together, she's like, I love you too. I'm like, why did you change your mind? You didn't interact with him a single time, and you can't go from I'm going to break up with you to I love you like that. That is horrible. You're a manipulative, horrible person. I really hate you, Lois Lane. I really, really hate you. Um, her writing buddy plays young Sean in Psych, and I could not see that. So I saw a 13-year-old hitting on a prostitute, and I was like, this whole thing is uncomfortable to me. I understand that I am one of very few people who even know who that is. But like, I genuinely really like that actor. He's in a bunch of stuff I've seen. He does a way, way back. He does a show called Vacation um, with what's it? He plays Andy in The Office. Um, like I really like that actor, but he hasn't aged at all. And so all I see is 13-year-old Sean hitting on a prostitute, and it made me incredibly uncomfortable. I was like, he's way too young for this. Way, way too young for, and she looks like 30. Um, So that whole point made me really uncomfortable. Um, there was some comic booky weirdness that I can excuse, but I didn't like. Like I didn't like the monkeys. Um,
I did.
I love the monkeys.
it's
So
just
funny.
kind of dumb.
But it's very comic
Uh,
booky. Like this
it's a
movie
very
is
comic
very
booky. Like I
comic
said,
booky.
I can totally forgive that. That's fine. I personally didn't like it, but that's fine. Um, there's the scene where they're getting in Mr. Fantastic's ship, and like Lois Lane can't fly it. Except, how did she land it on the top of the building in the first place? Um, just kind of dumb stuff like that I can nitpick. Hands down, is the best Superman we've ever gotten. But I will not rewatch this ever again. Um, I still didn't like it overall. And I think that the breaking point is Lois Lane. I think her character is inconsistent, and I think she's just a terrible human being. High points are Lex Luthor, already spoken about, is great. Absolutely fantastic Lex Luthor. Um, Absolutely fantastic Superman, but it's Superman. Superman's kind of a dumb hero, and his love interest, which I like in everything else that I see her in, because she does play an important role, is just done horribly here.
That is so interesting that our opinions of Lois were so different because I loved the challenging him to think broader and think larger and feel like she was trying to shove one particular thought down throat. She was even like he's accusing her of trying to do that, of making him think a certain way, and she's like, I don't really know the answer, but you need to think about it because you have so much power, and I loved that. Straight
She's
up loved
still
it.
on a morally high horse, from my
I
perspective,
didn't feel that way,
because she
but that's
doesn't
fair.
even let him speak. She gets up on her high horse and she's like, "Did you even talk to this person? Did you even talk to that person?" And he is literally like, "Uh, let me speak." Sorry, viewers, let me speak, bitch. Like,
Yeah,
and she
Superman
just
did
is
say
talking
that.
down to him more. Like, she definitely, in my opinion, takes the "I'm on the moral high ground here, and I'm gonna let you have it."
What do
And
you
then
think
she keeps
about that,
going,
Lauren?
"You didn't. I would ask you these same questions even if I knew you weren't Clark Kent." And I was like, "Okay, sure, okay."
Yeah, I thought she was in the wrong in that part. I
Hmm.
do like that, like she wasn't just going along with Superman because he was Superman and was asking those questions, but I do think she was in the wrong of like cutting him off and like kind of baiting him and stuff. Um, so because like I kind of got frustrated in that scene, like up to the point where he was like, people were gonna die. The whole point, he's like, I don't care about all of this crap because I was just saving people. He's like, I don't see agendas, I don't see these things, I saw people in danger and I saved them, that's all I saw. And like I like when he was like, but you know that's silly or whatever, because like they it didn't show the scene of them like having these conversations as Lois and Clark. um and so then when she switched into reporter mode and he was Superman, that didn't mesh well. And I don't think I did hate the fact that like after that little bit she's like, this isn't gonna work out, and like wanted to break up because of the interview. I think I would have liked Lois better if like if they kept that scene of her like pushing Superman with that and her being kind of a jerk, and then like later her being like, hey, you know, like not that it's an excuse or whatever, but her being like, hey, that's like my reporter kicked in and I don't know how to separate reporter from relationship and we need to work on that aspect instead of just trying to like cut it off. So like I can see both of your guys' points and I think I'm in the middle because I'm not a fan of Superman and this Lois Lane. I think he could do much better. um because yeah, I feel like she was a little too flaky, and then I also thought that it was um, that line. Now that you brought it back up, I did hate when she was like, "I was going to break up with him, but then he said he loved me." I forgot about that, and I remember hating that when I watched that.
I
Um,
I honestly forgot about that too, and that's fair. I don't like that either.
yeah.
I'll be honest.
So, do I think that I hate that so much that the rest of the movie I would not want to rewatch? No. Um, it didn't bother me that much with that, but I do think that you
Could have been
have,
better.
yeah, I think you have a point with Lois. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Like I said, it would be one thing if she was just like that holier than thou attitude that I saw, but it was like that and like you said, just flaky in that she just goes with the wind. And she does it at the end too, where he's like, people try and or stand up for Superman, and she's like, "I was with you the whole time." It's like, no, you weren't. You were a bitch to me through 2 hours of this movie. Um, so yeah, and like it could have been done better. Like the questions she was asking would be one thing if they were asked, but the fact that she wasn't letting him answer the questions is where I think she goes from being an impartial, have you looked at the other side thing to I'm on the moral high ground. I know the answers, so I'm going to make you feel like shit. And
Interesting.
I
Okay.
don't like
Yeah,
that.
that's where I said she was in the wrong for that whole thing, and I don't think she handled that well.
Yeah. Captain Fantastic is awesome. Uh, Great part of the movie. Hasn't been brought up yet. He adds a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If I was
Terrific.
Ryan Reynolds, I would feel terrible that Nathan Fillion with a terrible haircut is a better Green Lantern than you. Um, I
I
was
love
still
the
really
tank
irritated
scene.
with his character, but like, I hate that they gave him such a terrible haircut just for a joke.
Just and
Uh,
because it's in the comics he has that haircut.
well, he's a new Green Lantern. He's not the Green Lantern.
He's
I
not
know,
Green
but
He's
Lantern.
literally
He's
come out.
oh, what's it? Uh,
he's a Green Lantern from the comics though with
yeah,
that haircut.
yeah,
I don't think so.
yes.
Pretty dang
Um,
sure.
Pretty sure I've seen comics where they're like, yeah, we're going with an entirely new kind of Green Lantern.
what's his face? Because he's like Colin said, he's a Green Lantern, but he's not the Green Lantern. It's
Yeah.
why can't I think of his name?
Isn't it like Hal Jordan or something?
Something like that.
Howl
Or is
is
that
a popular Green Lantern. There's another
uh,
one.
Guy Gardner. So, and Guy Gardner's kind of like the um the trash of the Green Lanterns.
Okay.
Um,
I misunderstood then because I didn't think he was in any comics before. I think they
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of
no, Guy
made up things.
Gardner.
Okay.
interesting? He was one of my one of my negatives of the show. Is actually probably the thing that I liked the least. To be completely
I'm
honest.
right there with you. I really didn't like him, but he's still better than
He's still better than Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds was,
Yeah.
for sure.
I liked him in the aspect of Superman working with them. Um, because like he was kind of like the not morally gray.
No,
Like
he's morally dark. He's morally blank. He is a bad person.
yeah. So I mean, he was doing some things to like help out the public and stuff, but he didn't care what got destroyed and stuff. And you have like Superman freaking out. And he's like, "Come on, guys! Like, we could probably rehabilitate this thing." And they're like, "No, let's just blow it up and stuff." And like, I love that aspect of like it was showing like how Superman cares, where other superheroes are like, "Ah, yeah, this is a paycheck," or "Oh, yeah, this is." For like public image or whatever. Whereas like Superman's like, I want to help the people and this squirrel and this dog and I want to help everything.
It was a good
Um,
dichotomy.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is really
There's a
good, but
difference.
every time he's on screen, you just want to punch him in the face.
I did like him using his little Green Lantern powers to be flipping off the tanks as he was throwing them over, though.
I liked that, and I liked the when he's fighting the big lizard thing. He makes the like squeegee thing that pokes it in the eye.
Yeah.
I don't know why I liked that part. I
I
enjoyed
also
that part.
I liked when Superman and Lois were having like a conversation in the background. You could see him like with this big bat smacking the thing in the background. The fight with the I can't remember what they called it, but it like looked like a big eyeball with tentacles is what it looked like to me. But
I liked that too.
yeah.
I liked that too. So, did we ask you, Josh, what is your rating?
No, you haven't.
What's
Would
your
you
rating?
rate
4.5.
it?
You would rather watch Black Panther than this?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm leaving the call. No, I'm just kidding.
That's that's shocking.
Yeah.
That is
You
maybe the
hate
most
Lois that
surprising
much, huh?
review I have ever heard from you. That is shocking.
Like this.
Look, like I said, I see a lot of good in it. It does give me hope for what the DC does in the future, right? I
Yeah.
really hope they do Flash well. I really hope they, bring in a good Green Lantern that gets a standalone movie. It really gives me hope for what's coming, but like as it stands, no, I will not rewatch this again. If I had the choice, would I rather watch Black Panther or this? Black Panther slightly, because there's nothing that I hate about Black Panther except how mediocre it is. And like, I hate Lois Lane.
So if I
Just
made
cannot
a
stand her.
copy of
Wow.
this movie, but I edited out Lois Lane, how would you rate this
It's probably
movie?
like a 7.5.
Okay.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna go in and just doctor up this movie so that Lois Lane isn't in it, so that you can enjoy it.
The dog is really well done.
Mm,
The guy who does element can change into elements thing was really cool. There's a lot of really good stuff in this. There's just some like not really good stuff, some nitpicks, and like one really horrible part, and that's all Lois Lane. You guys love the family dynamic. It's okay. It's not the best Superman family. I would give that to Smallville.
mm.
Uh,
I haven't seen Smallville, so I heard that a lot of people felt like when he went back to his parents that it was an ode to Smallville. But
there are some odes to it, but like I really like the dad in Smallville.
Yeah, and
He's like the
Smallville's great.
best part of the show. And this one, he's kind of just like forgettable, whatever. Move it
mm,
along. Uh, so yeah, that's where I land. Like I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm not mad that anybody else likes it or that it's getting the fame and notoriety that it is. It's just for me,
Didn't work.
Superman's not gonna work. I don't think Superman could work for me. Like
the hero in general.
yeah, uh, my favorite things with Superman is one where he is a side character in like Flashpoint Paradox.
I like that one. I like the
It's about it.
Superman animated TV show actually quite a bit. The Superman and Batman animated TV show is very good. Actually, I like that one a lot. And then the Death of Superman DC animated movie is excellent.
Yeah, I didn't care for Superman until this movie. I really liked him. I think I actually that's not true. I liked Superman in the Flash series with Grant. Um, is it what's his name? Um, yeah, look it up for me. I keep wanting to say Hugh Grant, but that's not his name. Grant Goose Gustin.
Gustin.
There we go. Grant Gustin. I do like that Superman that is in that series.
Cool.
But I also really like the end scene where the cousin comes and gets Crypto back.
So did
Crypto's just like all over, and the robot's like, ah, well, now we know where the behavioral issues come from.
yeah. And I
So,
like the Supergirl that's a party girl kind of thing. I think it works really well. I read some of
yeah,
the comics with that. And I'm excited that they went that route. I was surprised they went that route.
yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for Supergirl. So,
Me too.
Me too. Uh, right? I really I like I said I love where they're going. Um, just not a fan of stupid heroes that have no real logical weaknesses.
That's fair. And a lot of Superman stuff. I think Superman's lame. It's specific stories that I like Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like the cloning him thing, but
I'll
it
agree
was a
with that.
bold choice.
I wish they
Like
would
so
have
far, they're
gone
making bold choices. I like
more
bold choices.
what is it in the comics? I can't remember his name. In the comics, he's like more demented and more like a cloning gone wrong. And I wish that they would have gone a little bit more that way, but it's all right.
I
Oh, here's that does remind me though. It really bothered me that they were like, he's stronger because he's stupider. That was their excuse, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is a comic book. You could have been like, we enhanced him with chemical
I thought you said we
rocks
enhanced
or
him with
whatever.
Kevin. I was
No,
like,
they we enhanced him with kryptonite or whatever. But no, they're just he's dumber, so he's stronger. Stupidest thing ever.
yeah,
I thought it was more like he's dumber, so he's easily controllable, so we can give him exact orders that we need to give him so that he
There's
can
a
counter out
line where he
Superman.
literally says he's dumber, so
So he's
he's stronger,
stronger.
and then
Oh,
shoots laser eyes at Superman.
that is kind of
And I'm
rough.
like,
mm.
your excuse for him being stronger than regular Superman is that he's dumber. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll agree. I didn't like that they had Ultraman in, because I felt like there was a lot going on and they could have just left Ultraman out of it.
I
Um,
agree.
but I thought it
No
was funny that I saw a TikTok where it's
no
like,
problem with it.
yeah, there's like a TikTok where it's like spoilers without spoiling, and they had the Winter Soldier. I was like, that's what he looked like, was the Winter Soldier a little bit. It's kind of funny.
That's funny.
Well, all right. What's our
Okay. Conlon, we're going to switch gears. What is your topic?
Okay, I do get to be the positive one this episode. That's great. Until we get to our shared topic, and then we'll see. Um, Nancy Drew is my topic, and I watched it because of Josh. And I was so unbelievably pleasantly surprised with this show. I think this is one of CW's best TV shows. Um, I like I like all of the main acting. One of my biggest problems of this show is the side characters that they bring in for one episode, because they're like, I get to act once. And there's this girl who she gets brought a burger, and it is like the greatest thing that's ever happened. She's like, oh, it's a burger. She's just so happy. And a lot of the side characters who deliver their lines are like genuinely terrible and pull me out of the show. Like, really some of the worst side characters, guest episode people I've ever seen in a show ever. Like, really, really bad. But all of your main actors and actresses do a good job. My other big problem with the show is I don't buy Nancy and her dad being her dad. I don't know why, but the entire show it just doesn't feel like her dad. I wish it was like her uncle or something. It would. I think that was a me thing. Did you feel that way at all?
No, I agree with you. I mean, they're
Okay.
doing it on purpose because she's supposed to be skeptical of him
Yeah.
all the time. And if they give that loving father or disappointing father look on him, it undermines her being skeptical. At least that's my thought process.
Okay.
So, like, my my answer is I think they're doing it on purpose. I
Okay.
do agree with you. It's not a good element of the show.
No, they don't feel like a father and daughter to me really at all. I really would like it better if it was like an uncle or something. Like
Yeah.
dad was already dead, mom died, uncle came in to take care of Nancy or something. Um, but other than that, I think it's really good. The connections with the main characters are very enjoyable. I believe that they're a teenage group that have become friends. Like it buys, it works. I like that they're a little bit older. They're college age. I like that. It works really well. I like the Crab Shack stuff, even though no one ever seems to be actually eating there, unless it's convenient for someone to be eating there. But it's really enjoyable. I think the mystery stuff is really good. The horror aspects for a teenage audience are excellent. Like they're really well done. The music and
I
sound
gotta ask,
design,
what did you think of the opening scene with the
great.
horror element?
It's
Yeah.
absolutely great. I thought it was awesome. The mystery is compelling. Like I said, the acting is really good. I like the rich girl. I think sometimes the rich girl thing gets little bit overhanded, but it's CW. I kind of like give it a little bit of a pass. Um, yeah, it's a show that I would recommend to people. The mystery is your main reason for watching a show like this. Is the acting good and is the mystery compelling? And for me, the mystery was compelling, the acting was good, and it is absolutely worth a watch. Absolutely, easily one of the best CW shows for me.
So, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Um, I think I would just barely below an 8. I would give it like a 7.8, somewhere right in there, 7.9, just like a titch below an 8.
And then, did you watch it with Sydney like you wanted to?
Yeah, and
And
she
what did she think?
also very much enjoyed it. She was put off because she does like Nancy Drew, and she also came to the same conclusion as you that this just wasn't Nancy Drew, but was also very enjoyable. I like this way better than that other one that you liked, Josh. Way better.
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. I like this way better than Outer Banks.
Okay.
This
I
was
think
very
Outer
very enjoyable
Banks
to me.
for the first season is probably as good.
Okay, cool.
After that, totally agree with you. Outer Banks sucks. But
I could not get through Outer Banks. I watched half of the first season, maybe. This one, I was glued to, and whenever I could watch it, I watched it. I liked it. I liked it. Thanks for the recommendation, Josh.
good.
Lauren,
Now, are you excited for season 2?
yeah, I am legitimately excited for season 2. Um, it's like really good. It is a CW show. Like if the CW thing doesn't work for you, this will not work for you. It has all of the CW-ish things. Um, but it's a very good version of that.
Good. And the supernatural elements, what do you think about that?
I like it. It adds to the show overall, and it never comes across corny to me. My favorite supernatural part is when they're in the mental hospital and the mold and stuff is spreading throughout the building and they open up the door so it starts spreading even faster, and it's actually a mental hospital patient that's telling him about everything that's going on, and he's pretending to be the doctor. That whole episode and scene scenario I thought was great.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, I'm going to get into my solo topic.
And I might hate Josh. I might hate him because if he doesn't like this and he doesn't like Superman, he's coming to town next week. And I'm going to hit him with a ball with a wiffle ball bat.
Okay, well, let's play this game again, Conlon. What is your prediction for my thoughts on the show Blackbird?
If you don't give it at least an 8, you're a moron. Like
So,
legitimately,
what do
you're
you
just
think I'm going to
wrong.
give it?
I
What's
believe
your
in you, Josh. I
prediction?
believe in you, and you're going to give the right score of a 9.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is Blackbird. It is a show on Apple TV starring Taron Egerton. One of the reasons Conlon loves it so much, he just has a big old crush out over there.
Yep, man
It's
crushing
fair.
on Taron hard.
It's fair crush.
Uh, In this show, he plays a playboy guy who gets arrested. He takes a plea deal, which is changed on him, and he is later then offered a deal to commute his sentence, but it would require going to a mental um, jail in order to get the confession of something Hill. Hold on, let me pull it up. I don't want to. Larry Hill, who's played by Paul Walter Hauser, which some of you may know from Cobra Kai. Um, it's based on a true story. Um, a lot of these events really did happen. My review is Apple knocked it out of the freaking park yet again.
Yes,
I was
I
absolutely
believed in you.
hooked on this show. I was impressed with Taron Egerton more in this show than I think in anything else, which is saying a lot because he knocked it out of the park with Eddie the Eagle and Tetris, and they're all very different roles. And this one, you would argue, is kind of more in line with what he got famous for, which is Kingsman. But I was
But still
still
different.
Yeah.
very impressed with what he did. Um, as for the history, they knocked it out of the park. It is extremely accurate. The actual Larry or James Keene and his family were executive producers on the show.
That's
So I'm
cool. I
sure
didn't know
there's
that.
some embellishments where he is embellishing his role and maybe what he did or interactions that may have happened, but still really, really accurate. The only inaccuracy I could find that people could actually identify that, like, hey, that didn't happen was the map scene. Um,
Okay,
he only caught a small glimpse of it. He was not shown it. And to me, that's like, okay, but for an audience on a TV show, we need more than just a little glimpse of it. That way we understand why. But he was actually thrown in solitary. He actually bit his fingers to make his fingers bleed to paint on the wall. Like,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, as for the history of the show, it's pretty accurate. And as a history fan, I really appreciate it when shows take the effort to be like, we're not just going to tell a story similar. I'm always the person who's like, history's already cool enough. Why are you changing it? And they agree with me on this one because they made it really, really accurate. I love all of the characters. Every actor does a phenomenal job. Um, my
The
only
serial
nitpick,
killer is so good. It's insane. Anyway,
well,
don't cut me
yeah,
off.
but that's my comment about him though. Is like I always knew he was a serial killer. Um, a lot of people like his character in Cobra Kai. I was on the side that was like, no, that guy's a serial killer. And I was right. He definitely is a serial killer. Um, the only other inaccuracy I can talk to about this is in the show, they say he's credited with 16 kills. The actual number is right around 46.
Wow.
Why they downplayed it so much, I have no idea.
As a
Was it 16 at the time that they made the show
Nope.
and they
He
found more?
confessed to 15. So why they said he's suspected of 16 and confessed to 15 in the show, I don't know. Because
Hmm.
he's suspected of over 40. He
Wow. I
did
don't know why they
write
would do that either.
confessions and did take them back for 15. But yeah, he's a very prominent serial killer who I had never heard of. He really was obsessed with Civil War reenactments and Revolution reenactments. His brother was the same, or his brother was involved because he was involved. That's not quite clear in the show or in real life. Um, As for what happened to the map, that's also not confirmed, but I think the dad burning it is good for the viewer in the show, and you can't say it didn't happen. So, yeah,
There's plausible deniability there.
yeah. I my nitpick for the show of the only thing I didn't really love about the show was the amount of involvement that the guard had.
Okay.
I liked the guard. I liked that he added the timetable element for Taron Egerton, or increased the timetable element because his dad dying was already a timetable for him. It's just like he's in every single episode, and it's like, okay, we get it. You're blackmailing him. We know. Let's move on. Like, we don't need to be rehash this as much as it is. But that's my only real negative. I absolutely love this show. I will absolutely rewatch this show. I don't know when I will rewatch this show. It's not like a comfort rewatch. Like a lot of the shows that I rewatch are usually comfort rewatches. But it is very, very good, and I would recommend it to absolutely anyone because it's exceptional. And at the very least, Lauren, it's Taron Egerton in the best shape he's ever been in,
He is
and
so
he's
jacked.
shirtless.
He's so
Excuse
jacked.
me. The best shape he's ever been in was when he was doing Elton John. So
No,
No,
it's this though. This
no,
movie, he is jacked out of his
no,
mind.
he's so comfy in Elton John. No one wants to hug a brick wall.
I think you're gonna watch this and you're gonna want to hug a brick wall. This guy's freaking jacked. All right, what would you rate it?
a 6.
What? You said you would
No, I'm just
rewatch
kidding.
it.
I just wanted to see Colin's face.
I
It's
knew that wasn't true.
definitely a 9.5 out of 10.
You should have given more of a realistic rating, like a 7.5. I would have been like, what?
Got me instead. I was like, what?
Oh, it's a 9.5.
Just heard you
Okay,
It
even
is
higher
near
than I thought.
perfect.
That's
And
what.
like I said, the only reason it loses that 0.5 is because I think there's too much of the guard.
Okay.
If his screen time was cut down, it would be a 10 out of 10. I'm not afraid to give 10 out of 10s. That is literally the only thing that I can say makes this not perfect.
Very cool. I'm glad you liked it. Obviously it's on my top 10 shows. I love this show. I love it. Lauren, you should absolutely watch it because it's great.
I'll see if I. Is it on Plex?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll watch
I don't
it.
think you're going to love it quite as much. It's not a you show, but I do think you would like it.
Fair enough.
Give it a shot.
But who knows? Maybe you'll surprise me. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and go to our shared topic this week. Another one that was recommended by Conlon. Conlon, why'd you recommend it, and what'd you think?
So I just wanted to watch it. I've never seen it before, and I read the book when I was a kid, and I do like I like the book. I think the book is genuinely a very good story, but unfortunately, we just talked about the greatness that is Blackbird, and I have to compare it, or I have to go to this next, and I didn't think this was very good. Um, it feels old to me, and animation doesn't always do that, but this one feels old and feels like something that should be remade because the oldness kind of pulled me out. It's kind of like the Hobbit, the animated Hobbit from the 80s. It feels
Same
old,
studio.
and it's the same studio. They both feel old and in a not good way that didn't really work for me because the story itself has a lot of good elements that should really work and draw me in. But when I was watching this, I just didn't enjoy it and I just didn't really care and I just didn't really get that invested. And the entire time I was just like, I wish there was a modern version of this because I think I would like it, but I don't. And I kind of kind of made me sad. Kind of made me sad I didn't like it, but I just didn't.
What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
4. I would give it a 4. Um, there's nothing about it that I think is really great. There's
The
it's
cast,
the voice acting I don't think is really great.
not the voice acting, the cast.
The cast, like the
Christopher
characters.
Lee, Jeff Bridges, Alan
Oh
Arkin.
yeah, there's literally nothing about it that stands out as being fantastic in the whole movie. I don't think the animation is that good. I don't think the voice working is that good. Um, the story is like, I guess it's kind of the same, but the way that it's edited and paced doesn't feel good. I just, I want, I'm disappointed, apathetic is kind of my emotions towards this, and I wanted to like it a lot more than I did, and I just, yeah, just didn't.
Okay, Lauren, you're our resident animation expert.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
that's mostly what my comments were about was the animation. Um, Backgrounds and stuff were very complicated and pretty, I think.
Oh, good.
Um, but I noticed that the designs were overly complicated, especially for something that you're hand drawing and animating. And like you very clearly in one of like the first scenes, there's like a dog chasing and barking, and you can see where they paused the dog's body, but then like neck up, you saw the dog like bark and its head move, and it almost was a different color than the body because you could tell that they had the dog's body
Mm.
was now on the background and they only had the head be the animation. Um, and so there was a lot of that I saw throughout the movie. And like I was like, oh, I did that animation trick and my teacher was so mad at me. Like so I do think that they overcomplicated the character designs. The hair for both of the girls I think was way complicated. Um and they could have just like eased that a little bit better. And like the horse, like for the unicorn kept like always like her head was everywhere and I did not like it. It was very distracting to me when she was the unicorn. Um and like there was a lot of stuff that I noticed with the hair specifically that when the rest of her wasn't moving, her hair wouldn't move. But then as soon as she would move, her hair was flowing gorgeously. But then I was like, her hair would be flowing gorgeously all the time because there's wind right now. But if she wasn't moving specifically at that moment with her body or her head, her hair wouldn't move. Um, so like the animation could have been better. I think the style was very gorgeous. If it was like if they had the technology of now, um, and as long as like as far as like the story and stuff, I hadn't read the book, and I this is like my first time knowing it, but I've seen a whole bunch of TikTok things where she gets like turned into the princess, and she's like, "I feel my body dying," and like I've seen all like the TikToks being like me in my 20s and stuff. So it was nice to finally get the context of that. Um, I kind of found the romance with the prince weird, um, and it felt like oh, there's a prince and a unicorn, so of course they have to get together. And then this is a king, but where is everybody else? It was just him and the prince. There was no one else. It was like I was like, what is he king of? Like, I was that explained? Did I miss that? Did everybody like run away? Why is he alone in this? Like, it was just him and the prince that whole time, and I didn't know if that was because they didn't want to animate a whole bunch of randos, but yeah, I thought it was okay. I probably liked it better than you did. I did strangely like the music. Um, it felt very old. The music felt very old, but I wasn't mad and I liked it. So,
You liked it.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I'd probably give it like a 6. Um, I wasn't blown away by it, but I wasn't mad that I watched it. I thought it was very interesting watching the old animation. I always find that very interesting to like watch. So not necessarily bad, but interesting.
Okay. This I could not figure out for the life of me why you recommended this, Godlin. I mean, it's called The Last Unicorn. I had never heard of this before. Uh, and I was like, why did he want to watch this so badly? Like, you were genuinely excited when you pitched it. And I was like,
I was.
this is like Conlon if he had said, like, the new My Little Pony movie came out and I'm so excited. And I was like, that's what it sounded like to me, at least. So I
Okay.
really put off watching this for as long as I possibly could. And I've got to land right in between you two because, at least in terms of animation, um, the backgrounds always blew me away. Like the opening scene with the forest, I think the forest looks fantastic. And they ride in on the horses and they give their lines of dialogue. I thought the horses and specifically the two people looked really, really good. And then you see the unicorn, and that is the ugliest freaking unicorn ever. And I remember very specifically the unicorn like turns to look at the camera and it's like there's a hole in its face. And I was like, who drew that? And who said that was okay? Oh my gosh, that looks horrible. Like, why does the background look so good? And you spent 5 minutes on your character. I don't understand this. Other than that, I agree with Conlon largely. Like, the story is fine, I guess. The characters are fine, I guess. I really didn't like it. I had to watch it 3 times because I kept falling asleep. So, yeah, for me, it's a 3 out of 10. I really had to force myself through it, and I just can't give anything higher.
I feel
That's fair.
like this is a movie that is has to be like a childhood one, and why people like love it and watch it is because they watched it as like a kid and for the nostalgia. Because I know this has like a cult following.
Yeah. And The Last Unicorn, the book is like a fantasy classic.
I had never heard of it before.
That's
Ever.
surprising to me. Have you heard about it before, Lauren?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Absolutely classic.
Looks like people largely agree with Lauren, though. IMDb 7.3 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 76, and Metacritic's a 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just
I was hoping for more.
when Conlon mentioned that we should watch The Last Unicorn, I jumped on yes because that went with my horse theme that I was doing this week.
Yeah. That was also horse. I was like, so many freaking horses.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I'm kind of sad that you found the horse on Josh's shirt, but not on my shirt.
You have a horse?
Or-
I have horses on my shirt right here.
Oh, dang it.
And I have a oh yeah.
I didn't get my freaking memo about. Actually, I don't own a shirt with horses. I literally don't have one. I own nothing with horses on it.
It was literally because I was like, I texted Josh and I was like, you know, I thought about, since Colin hates horse girls so much, about just talking about horses one episode. And I was like, I'm wearing a horse shirt. And he's like, if you buy me a horse shirt, I'll wear it. And so I got him the horse.
You bought them the horse shirt? Oh, that's why you have such a terrible shirt, Josh.
The trick for me was to find stuff that you would believe I would talk about without it being blatantly horse, i.e., me talking about the horse in Peaky Blinders.
I also debated wearing overalls today.
Oh, no. No. Anytime you bring up overalls, I'll be like, Josh, I'm starting every episode. Every episode, I'll be like, hi, this is on screen, off screen. We have Josh. He's wearing a stupid horse shirt, but that is the greatest looking shirt in comparison to what Lauren is wearing.
I'm gonna
Freaking
just buy a
overalls.
whole closet of overalls now.
I mean, at some point, you want to get married, right?
Nah.
No, okay, do it. Do it. Get over. Just wear overalls. It's a great way to stay single. Great way.
I can stay single without overalls.
Oh, it will help with overalls.
I don't know. I might
Just good
attract.
repellent.
Might attract.
All right, I'm
people.
gonna cut this reiteration of Conlon's hatred of overalls off, since you already got that 2 weeks in a row. Thank you, anybody, for watching and/or listening. I really appreciate you. Let me know how soon it was you caught on to the horse thing, because Conlon took a lot longer than I thought he did. He was going to.
I was like, she genuinely is just like horses, horses, horses.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
was about to get blatant.
yeah. I even had like Horse Girls Forever on the bottom of my mug as I was drinking today.
I didn't see that.
I tried holding up as long as I could for some time.
At the very end, you just hold up a sign that's like, I love horses.
I switched out my painting to be a horse.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. Ridiculous
I
nonsense.
was trying to be subtle, but then also blatant at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, you're just picking out horse things, but okay, I guess like Hildago's a pretty good movie. I'm glad you watched War Horse. Spirit, sure, like maybe she was just in a horse mood, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I didn't think of Josh's thing really at all because I was like, that horse is freaking awesome, so sure.
Okay, actually ending now. Thank you all, everybody. Have a great day.
See you guys.
Better today than yesterday.